Hey, I'm Anna Wingate from Northwest Ecclesia. So you've been asking yourself, uh, where's fellowship? Somehow I don't fit in church anymore. I have a need and it's not being met. I'm not talking about people who are mad at church. I'm talking about people who, for whatever reasons, maybe you could teach the teacher and mentor the pastor. Maybe you're looking for more, I call them the more people. You're looking for the supernatural. You're looking to learn to see in the spirit. You're looking to serve God in new ways. You're looking to learn about translocation. Somewhere in the back of your mind there's just got to be more. And that's why I'm talking to you. So Northwest Ecclesia started without a plan. We were a healing team that met in a coffee shop and lost the building they sold. And we ended up starting to meet at my home, and it grew from there. And we went from studying healing to worship. If I'd known 7 years ago what this thing would turn into, I had no clue. Anyway, started meeting people and listening to people. Met Mike Parsons. I consider him a pretty good friend. Have listened to Ian Clayton, Justin Abraham, Nancy Cohen, Dr. O, and realized that I like the deep end of the pool. And maybe you're one of those people too. The deep end of the pool is where you want to be. Somebody may call you a New Age Christian or a heretic because seeing in the spirit or traveling in the spirit is important to you, or ascending. That's usually the kind of people we find in ecclesias or home fellowships. Now, let me qualify that. It's not a house church. There's no 3 songs, an offering, a prayer, and somebody teaching you. It's not a church small group where the church has set an agenda and has a teaching series. It's you, your friends, and Holy Spirit. That's pretty much it. Again, unintentionally, we didn't know it, but I think we ran smack dab into what was God's original intent and what people were doing soon after Jesus' time on earth. So that would be meeting in each other's homes based on the premise of family. We claim no elders, no deacons, no pastors, no presbyters, any of that. We say that there are spiritual parents and spiritual kids, and everybody eventually matures into spiritual parents. We do a lot of mentoring. We do a lot of healing sessions and walking paths of wholeness. A meeting for us looks like usually a meal, a communal meal, can be a potluck in somebody's home. Within that communal meal is communion, the breaking of the bread and the wine, and it can be done through ascension. We will ascend to do it. The earmarks we see of ecclesia or home fellowship is love. Oh my gosh, the longer you're together, the more you love one another, the more you can trust people with your deepest, darkest problems, and rather than have them betray you or gossip, they will help you walk through it. Just a sense of family like you don't find in other groups. Each group has its own personality. Our group, I tease, it's an artist commune, even though we don't live together. They're visual artists, musicians, writers, those type of people. How that happened, I'm not too sure. We do spend a lot of time ascending together. We go up the kingdom realms. We have had a lot of cause and effect type of activities. We've helped stop a flood. I could tell you story after story. Seen finances improve because of ascension. And then we are highly involved in kingdom government and authority. And I think many groups are not realizing it or realizing it. But we have a bench of 3, and then we have a council, and we do a lot of work over regions and territories, cleaning them up, taking back satanic or demonic control. So, why? Well, there came a point in time where church wasn't working for any of us. And this just evolved into that. We've made a lot of mistakes. Should we have a building? Shouldn't we have a building? Oh, maybe we're supposed to grow. We got up to 40 people, like 2015 or 16, when there was 40 of us. And then we started shrinking. And I'm like, oh, what are we doing wrong? And, then all this stuff comes out about, oh, we should do marketing and boost ads on or boost posts on Facebook. And one day the Lord spoke to my heart and said, growth is internal. Growth isn't about the numbers. Growth is about what's going on in the people. We started seeing another earmark of ecclesia. I'm not picking on anybody. I'm not cutting anybody down. My dad was a pastor. And there are certain paths of thought. So you get somebody in that's a great musician and you think, let's get them on the worship team. In ecclesia, you get somebody in, you think, where are they at? Where are they at spiritually? What's their identity? What's their purpose? And how can we help them grow in that? Because there is no worship team. Same thing, we found that buildings aren't needed because we're the temple. 1 Corinthians 3:16 says, don't you know that you yourselves are God's temple and that's God's spirit dwells in your midst? We don't need a building. We got each other. And then we started falling into that thing also in 1 Corinthians 14:26. What then shall we say, brothers and sisters? When you come together, each of you has a hymn, a word of instruction, a revelation, a tongue, or an interpretation. That's us, and we're orderly. We talk to each other during the week and say, hey, this happened and I think I'm supposed to share it. Or, man, this song's been floating around in my head. And, man, I think we need to get out the instruments. And maybe this time we'll just have dinner and just worship all night. There's no program. There's no formula. And so people hear about us and they go, oh, man, I want to come. And where are your services? We don't have services. We just get together. But we found the other thing that changed is, come on down. We quit trying to grow. We found that most ecclesias are 8, 10, 12. We mentor and help an ecclesia in San Juan, Puerto Rico. And the leader called me and he goes, man, what's wrong? We've got 8 people. I'm like, good. He's what? I said, it's supposed to be like that. I said, a lot of these leaders that you hear a lot about, or they have a large following, they may have, 20,000 people following on Facebook. Their fellowship is 12 people. You just don't know it. So what I'm saying to you is, maybe you shouldn't be thinking about finding. Maybe you should be thinking about starting. I mean, have you looked at, I stole this from Facebook. I got to show you this. Where is it? Right here. That's 13 scriptures out of the Bible. It says house, Cornelius' house, Mary's house, Lydia's house. They met in each other's homes. They grew to 3 million people before the Roman government instituted the church with, 4 walls, pews, and pulpit, which, by the way, if you don't know, it comes out of pagan religion. Pews in the pulpit, something the pagans did. It was an original thought. Sorry, folks. So I know the next thought is, oh my gosh, I got to clean my house every week and think about preparing something. And it's not like that. On 2 levels, it's not like that. It's more like you really want to hang out with your friends. And so you say, hey, come over, we'll have a cup of coffee and I'll make a cake. And you're really enjoying each other's company. And then it turns into, hey, let's potluck. What happened to you during the week? Come share that. Hey, I had a miracle happen. And pretty soon you find other people that want to come. And then you get sick or you break your leg. And they say something like, not a problem. We'll be over. We'll be early. We'll clean your house. I have had times where, oh my gosh, I came down with bronchitis and I was just healing up. And a whole bunch of people showed up 2 or 3 hours early. And no joke, my floor was mopped, my bathroom was cleaned, the house was vacuumed and dusted. And they put the meal together. And it's okay because they're family. So I just want to encourage you, if there's a little spark in you that says, maybe I can do this, go ahead, try it. If you want help, send us a message. We feel there's a call on us to help other people and other groups start these ecclesias, home fellowships, whatever you want to call them. Okay, I've been yamming longer than I planned on it, so I'm going to quit talking now, and I'll see you later.